friends, Abby Johnson here. Well, as a white person, I feel like I don't really know what to say. I have black friends who absolutely love Candace Owens and her voice, and I have just as many black friends who hate her. And so, it's hard to know as a white person sort of how to navigate this. And so I've sort of felt like my voice isn't wanted in this conversation. But you know what? I've decided that I can't be quiet about it. You know why? Because as many of you know, I have a biracial son. His name is Jude. And he is just, in my opinion, the most adorable little brown boy you will ever see in your life. As a mom of 5 boys, and one of those boys being biracial, I recognize that I'm going to have a different conversation with Jude than I do with my brown-haired, little Irish, very, very pale-skinned white sons as they grow up. Because right now, Jude is an adorable, perpetually tan-looking little brown boy. But one day, he's going to grow up, and he's going to be a tall, probably sort of large, intimidating looking, maybe brown man. And my other boys are probably going to look like nerdy white guys. And so I realize that I'm going to have a different conversation with Jude than I do with my nerdy white kids. And you know, that doesn't make me angry. And many of you would say, that should make you angry, Abby, but it doesn't make me angry. You know why? Because I look at statistics over emotion, okay? Now, I'll tell you what does make me angry in a minute, but right now, I'm going to look at statistics over emotion, okay? Statistically, I look at our prison population, and I see that there is a disproportionately high number of African-American males in our prison population for crimes, particularly for violent crimes. So statistically, when a police officer sees a brown man, like my Jude, walking down the road, as opposed to my white nerdy kids, my white nerdy men, walking down the road. Because of the statistics that he knows in his head, that these police officers know in their head, they're going to know that statistically, my brown son is more likely to commit a violent offense over my white sons. Okay? So the fact that in his head, he would be more careful around my brown son than my white son, that doesn't actually make me angry. That makes that police officer smart because of statistics. Now, if he treats my brown son more violently than my white son, that makes me angry. But if he's on more high alert with my brown son than he is my white son, that doesn't make me angry. Because that's just smart. Because of statistics. Okay? Now, if he acts in an unjust manner toward my brown son than my white son, that makes me angry. But statistically, if he's on more high alert, I'm not angry about that. So I recognize that I have a different conversation with Jude. I recognize that I'm going to have to talk to him about how to behave when he gets pulled over and how to be maybe extra cautious when he gets pulled over as an adult. How he walks down the street, how he talks to a police officer if he's approached by a police officer. I get that. And that doesn't make me angry. What makes me angry is the why. Why are the statistics the way that they are. Because I believe that the primary reason that we see a lot of the illness in our society today, and one of the reasons that we're seeing a lot of what's happening today in our society, is because of fatherlessness. Because fathers have not stood up and they have not taken their place in the home. And particularly in Black homes. And I knew that the previous statistic had been that 70% of Black homes were without fathers. And so I started researching and started looking to see if that statistic had gotten better, if there had been an improvement. And I found, unfortunately, it had not. That 70% has maintained pretty steady over many years. There are studies out there that are trying to redefine Black fatherhood. They are essentially saying that the 70% number is a lie because Black fatherhood looks different than white fatherhood. That Black fatherhood actually does look like a Black man coming in and out of the home and not being a consistent presence in the home. And that version of fatherhood is equivalent to a white father being consistently in the home. Okay, I don't want to cuss on here, but that is BS. And that is racist. Children, no matter their skin color, deserve the consistent presence of a father in their life. Black fathers do not get a pass just because it is culturally different. Just because Black fathers don't want to be in the home and culturally it has been acceptable for them to be with multiple women. First of all, women, Black women, you deserve better than that. You deserve a man who is going to father a child with you and be with you in the home with you and your child. Number one. Second of all, your children deserve to have a father who is going to consistently be with your child in the home. Period. Black children do not deserve a lesser father simply because they are Black. White children do not deserve a more consistent presence in the home just because they are white. That is racism. But that's what's happening. That's what's happening in research institutions right now. They are trying to redefine Black fatherhood because they don't like that 70% stat. So instead of setting the bar higher for Black fathers, they're simply redefining fatherhood in the Black community. That's crap. If Black America wants to start writing and talking about something, this is it. This is it. Our prisons are disproportionately filled with Black men because of this 70% statistic. Mark my words. It's not because of bad cops. It's because of bad dads. 70% of these dads are walking out on their babies. I'm not making an excuse for bad cops. There are bad cops out there, but not 70% of them. Getting fathers back in the homes is what's going to fix this. Redefining the Black culture in general. Empowering women to make the decision that they deserve better than to be with a man who's going to run around on her, and that be culturally acceptable. That changes the culture. Yeah, we've got big issues right now in the Black community, but at the root of it, the root is not with bad cops. The root starts in the home. The root is at the family. If you want to solve this madness that's going on right here, right now in our society, that is where you start. Because what's happening right now with police and criminals and rioting and violence, that is just a symptom of what has been going on for a long time in the homes and the communities of our Black families.